Good afternoon. 360, we are coming to you live today with a very, very popular topic. We are currently in the final weeks of our 28-day challenge. Now, as you know, Fitness 360, we are not necessarily driven around challenge, jump on, jump off. This is more about a lifestyle change. The 28-day challenge is literally a kickstart into having a better understanding around your nutrition, but also matching your nutrition to meet your goals. And we want to always give you the tools to be able to achieve your goals, but also maintain the progress that you did achieve long term. So today's topic is actually about eating out. With our weekly check-ins, a lot of clients have, social events and social calendars that tend to amp up, especially now as the weather starts to warm up and, the footy season, netball season is winding up. We have a lot more functions on as well. So today's topic is going to hopefully draw some anxiousness away from eating out or away from having such a busy social life and give you some really helpful tools and tips to continue on your health journey, on your weight loss journey, whatever your particular goals are. So if you're watching this with me live, then please do send me through a thumbs up or let me know if you have any questions throughout the video. If you do watch this back on replay, as always, just hit replay down below and let me know if you did actually get any helpful tips out of today. So basically what I want to start with is, okay, the first thing generally is, okay, I've got lots of social things coming up. I can't possibly look at changing my routine or my eating habits now because I know that I'm going to have a ball or I've got a birthday or I've got a hens and there's going to be alcohol and things like that. So I'm going to start at the very beginning, and the first thing that I want you to do in this situation is actually sit down, take it back to basics, look at your social calendar coming up and write them down. Now what you can do is actually order these social events in. If you have particular weight loss goals, then what I want you to do is write down all your events, all the dates, and then I want you to actually select one or two over a 6-week period that you are going to allow yourself to enjoy. And then we'll work backwards from here. The other social ones, I want you to actually practice a little bit of self-discipline and practice a little bit of, I suppose, resilience in these situations so that when the next one comes up that you actually have ticked as a higher priority for you, then you are going to be able to enjoy a little bit more because you knew that at the event that you decided to dedicate your persistence and your commitment to, you stuck to. So what I mean is, let's say for the next 4 weeks, I have something on every Saturday. I have a hens, then I have a first birthday, then I have a end of football bowl, and then I have a cousin's 18th. Okay, so what I would do then is look at every weekend and go, okay, right, where am I absolutely non-negotiable, not gonna not have a drink? And if that for me is the hens because you're in the wedding or whatever the case may be, wherever you draw your level of, dedication or importance, then let's go, okay, for the other 3 events for the rest of the month, I'm going to make sure that I really do prioritize my health goals during this time. Now we have that little plan in place. The number one thing around social events is a bit of planning, especially if you have weight loss goals. We all know that excessive drinking leads to potential binge eating or choosing the wrong foods or losing that little bit of self-discipline on the night or the next day. So the hardest thing is then to have to draw it back in. But if you can do that the following day, then you know that you've had the good night. You basically got to have your cake and eat it too. So number one is basically look at your social calendar. Let's then decide a number, like a level of commitment that you are willing to have at each event. And then if you have that plan in place, we can then look at how we can make this work into your goals. So as an example, if it is the hens that I really want to enjoy, and I'm going to make sure that, I am having a high volume, high protein meal for breakfast and my first snack. This may not include many carbs, it may not include many fats at all, but the fats it does include are going to be good quality fats. We're looking at nuts, avocado, maybe salmon, seeds, and extra virgin olive oil, things that are actually going to satiate me until that next meal. And then that's going to be paired with some high fibrous foods, so fruits and vegetables. When I talk about high volume eating, it is basically having a large meal which is not calorie dense. So if we're talking about having a muesli bar, or sometimes, if you go out to breakfast and you can choose to have grain toast, or you can have the sourdough grain loaf. Sometimes 2 slices of that sourdough loaf, or a thick cut Vienna, that can be upward of sort of 60 grams of carbs. So what we feel might be, avo on toast is a healthy breakfast, sometimes can actually be a little bit more calorie dense than we believe. So what we need to do on social occasions is try and eliminate eating out prior and eat at home where we have a bit more control. Load up your plate with as much volume. I'm talking greens, I'm talking berries, anything that is that lower calorie, but you can have in a larger amount, that is also going to help keep you full before your next meal. So that is my tip. If you do have a social event on, then that day you want to start well hydrated with high amount of protein and high volume eating to begin. So those 3 things paired together are going to keep you satisfied until the event, but also making sure that you don't go to that event feeling hungry, because if you get to a hens night, for example, feeling hungry, then generally we think about the type of food that is sitting on the platter table, and it is cheeses, dips, bickies, anything that is, we know, quite calorie dense. If you look at sometimes we can actually have the same amount of calories in 2 slices of bread as there may be in 10, processed rice crackers, which are very easy to overconsume when we're at events. So just going in with a bit of a plan and going in with a bit of an approach to start your day a little bit lighter, allowing for something a little bit heavier at the event. This also eats into, good pun, right? Eats into, but if you're dining out, so if you're going out for dinner, and for anybody who is, perhaps follows a meal plan or an eating plan, and then somebody invites you out for dinner, sometimes we can get this little bit of anxious feeling like, oh my God, what am I going to have? There is nothing on that menu that matches my meal plan. And of course it's not, because a meal plan is there to give you guides and ideas, and generally perfect to follow Monday to Friday. A lot of people do find it very easy to follow an eating plan Monday to Friday because it's routine, it takes the thought out of meal times, and it gives you a solid plan to know that if I follow this, I'm going to be able to achieve my results. But also, let's be realistic, we do live life. We live a very social life, some of us. I shouldn't include myself in that because I'm definitely not that person, but some people do. So the idea around that again would be just looking ahead and going, okay, I'm going to my favorite restaurant with a girlfriend. What do I generally like to get? And do I want to enjoy a glass of wine with that meal? If I know that I cannot stop at 1 or 2 glasses of wine, I'm not going to have it. I'm going to enjoy the meal, enjoy the company, and then go home satisfied, knowing that I stuck to my health and fitness goals. So we're going out to our favourite restaurant and we know what's on the menu, and we're feeling a little bit anxious because, what should I have? So this is where being able to understand what is in each meal and what you're consuming, not only calorie-wise, but nutrient-wise as well, is going to be very beneficial when it comes to going out. And if you want that bowl of creamy pasta because it's just you've been craving it and you really, really feel like it, then do not go there and deprive yourself of that bowl of pasta, because you are then going to not feel satisfied, and potentially going to lead to just coming home and having some chocolate that didn't satisfy me, some chips that didn't satisfy me, because all you needed was to then have that pasta at dinner. Okay. Now, also not just giving yourself that sort of hall pass that, hey, Ash said on a live that I could just have pasta at dinner. Of course you can, but let's just be a little bit mindful around that. How do I make this fit into my day? Or if it is going to be quite a heavy meal, you may have to adjust your week around that as well. And then looking at what you're doing outside of that. So are you still being active on the days that you do have social events? Or are you kind of just like, you know, hanging around home, quite sedentary, waiting for the event to begin? My tip is to always look at doing something in the morning that is going to help you kickstart your metabolism and allow your body to start burning through some calories earlier. And potentially, if you can, look at maybe pushing your breakfast back a little bit later. So if you're somebody who does have breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, meal, snack, then what we might do is cut our usual meals over the day from 5 or 6 back to 3 or 4. And then you're actually creating a bit of a buffer for yourself. So the amount of calories or amount of energy your body needs is, let's think of that as like a piggy bank, okay? Now you have so much in your piggy bank to use each day. Once you use all of that, you can sometimes go into overdraw. We don't want to go into overdraw too many times throughout the week, especially if we're on a weight loss journey or especially if we have particular health goals. So to combat that, what we might do is if we're out for dinner and we're going to our favorite pizza shop, rather than going there feeling absolutely starving, again, we're going to go and have a later snack, something that is going to be high volume. So, you know, a good source of fat, so maybe a few almonds. When I say a few, it's not like a handful either. I'm thinking like, you know, 15 maybe almonds, if just to cut it and make it as simple as possible. And then you might have some high fiber veggies, so, you know, some veggie sticks or something like that, and some slices of turkey that are also going to help increase your protein, or a couple boiled eggs. So I really want to focus on the things that are going to satisfy you, allow you to not feel hungry when you get there. And then that helps us draw our 4, 5 or 6 pieces of pizza down to 2 or 3, perhaps with a salad on the side. So when we do go out for meals as well, look at where you can increase the volume without increasing that calorie density. So if you do want some more help on volume eating, please let me know and I'll shoot you through a resource on that. But this has been one way that's really helped me, but many, many others, manage their weight post weight loss. So sometimes when we go into a challenge, and this is, you know, just talking from experience, but also talking from a coach's perspective as well. When we see such incredible results in our clients because they do have a eating plan and it has got options, but it is a plan. It's a guide to follow, and there's not too much room for error if you follow it from start to finish. Then we know that we're going to be able to get the results if we can stick to that. Then what happens is, oh my God, the 28, you know, it's 29, day 29, and going out for dinner, and I don't know what to have, and the meal plan doesn't have this. So this is why we need to actually build up our toolkit to be able to confidently make these decisions when we go out for meals, but also when we're, you know, just living life in general, because and I've said this so many times, but you do not want to be tracking your food until you're 75. So if that is the only way at the moment that you feel confident and comfortable in making healthy decisions and being able to fit your soul foods into your meals and diets, then I would really start to pay attention to the macro breakdown, the calorie density, and the feeling of you after that particular meal. So you can tune in to do this and live that ongoing balanced lifestyle without having to count numbers and track your food. Yes, it's something that to gain knowledge, it's a fantastic tool. and something to be able to stick to a energy target is a fantastic tool. Hence why we definitely promote that as a way to create some flexibility whilst hitting your target. But it's also something that I really want to be able to educate women out of as well, because sometimes counting calories, counting macronutrients, and tracking food can also be a little bit of a trigger as well. So if that is triggering and it's something that you would like to learn how to move away from, then again, please reach out and I'm more than happy to talk you through that as well. So those are my tips. Basically, I don't want these to ever draw out too long. I want them to be really easy and palatable to take on. I would definitely look at planning. If you do have a busy social calendar coming up, I would look at writing everything down, and absolutely everything, from the first birthday, from this, from that, and then go into every event with a bit of a plan. Because if we don't plan, if we don't have some kind of intention as to how we're going to enjoy that event, then the only thing that ends up happening is we feel like we've let ourselves down, or we feel anxious going into events, we feel overwhelmed. And it's just not a very good place to be in, especially if you do have particular goals that you're looking to achieve. So plan out your social calendar. Let's list which ones are, to be enjoyed and which ones you can practice some self-discipline around. Then when eating out or these social events do pop up, let's just readjust your day, or if necessary, your week, to fit that evening in or fit that event in where you can enjoy it. Because there is definitely room for enjoyment and soul foods. It is just about finding that balance that you can live with forever. And then my other thing would be to eat high volume, stay hydrated, and have a higher protein snack before you do go to events, so you do not go in hungry and over consume those really calorie dense options. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out, and if you would like any support in any of the tips that I've given today, leave a comment below and I will get back to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon.